Okay, we'll now take comments from the visitors. At this time, for visitors to address the council with any concerns or comments. The council will not interact with you, but may address your comments at a later time. And if you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give your name, address, and limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes. Thank you. Okay, seeing nobody coming forward. Tonight we want to recognize the life-saving efforts of 2 cardiac arrest incidents. Chief Singh, please come forward and make the presentation.
Deputy Mayor, council members, and guests. I stand honored here before you this evening, as the fire chief for the city of Fulton. I'd like to take a moment and share and recognize 2 incidents which outstanding teamwork, training, and rapid response resulted in lives being saved in our community. On November 26, 2025, Robert Jewell called 911 for a cardiac arrest. The patient's daughter, Jill Lubert, immediately began CPR, assisted by Sue Moser. Their quick action was the first critical link in a saving of a life. This incident occurred at the YMCA, where the staff members are required to maintain CPR and AED certification. Because of this training, YMCA staff were able to quickly recognize the emergency, assist those on scene. The presence of an AED at the facility played a critical role in achieving rapid defibrillation. The Fulton Police Department, Fulton Fire Department, and Callaway Ambulance District were dispatched and responded without delay. From the moment the call was received, dispatchers Rebecca Swain and Jenny Dunmeyer provided calm, professional guidance to those on scene while also relaying vital information to responding units, ensuring a well-coordinated response. During the event, Sue requested the AED, which was promptly applied. Upon arrival, Fulton Police Officer Whittington and Officer Rutherford took over patient care, working together to provide high-quality CPR and utilize the AED. The device analyzed the patient's condition, and a shock was administered. As a result of these coordinated efforts, the patient had a pulse and was breathing independently by the time fire and EMS personnel arrived and assumed advanced care. This incident is an example of the chain of survival, which includes early recognition and activation of 911, immediate CPR, rapid defibrillation with an AED, advanced care by fire and EMS, and continued medical treatment. Each link in that chain worked exactly as intended. Lives were saved when citizens act, trained staff intervene, dispatchers guide, law enforcement responds, and fire and EMS provide advanced care, all working together when seconds matter the most. This successful outcome highlights the importance of CPR and AED training, accessible AED placement in public facilities, and strong coordination among public safety partners. Now I'd like for Robert, Jill, Sue, the YMCA staff, dispatcher Rebecca Swain, Jenny Dunmeyer, Officer Rutherford, and Whittington to come forward, along with Police Chief Ladwig. If you all come forward to be recognized. So what I'll let you do is introduce who you are so that everybody knows. All right. So you want to start with who you are?
I'm Jill Lewis, and my father who had the my father was I'm here for being one of the people that I'm Siegel, I was on the site and they locate students, at the nursing facility in the waiting room.
Chief Ladwig has. You don't want microphone? As you all are aware, there's a second one I'd like to recognize. This one is another demonstration of the effectiveness of teamwork, our training, and coordinated emergency response within the community. On December 20th, 2025, Callaway County Joint Communications dispatchers McKenna Bear and Gail Higgins received a 911 call for a cardiac arrest at a residence here in Fulton. Their prompt call processing and accurate dispatch ensured that emergency resources were mobilized without delay. Fulton Fire Department personnel John Mays and James Hieronymus arrived on scene and were directed to the patient, where Fulton Police Sergeant Magadez and Officer Crowder were already performing high-quality CPR. Fire personnel quickly applied AED pads and initiated patient analysis. The AED advised a shock, which was immediately delivered. Shortly after, Callaway County Ambulance District arrived and assumed advanced patient care. The responding medic crew, paramedic Casey Heiberger, EMT Dylan Drum, and medic supervisor Greg Johnson continued the resuscitative efforts, during which a second shock was administered. These coordinated actions resulted in the patient regaining a heartbeat and breathing independently. This incident once again highlights the chain of survival in action. Each agency performed its role professionally, and the outcome reflects the importance of continued investment in training, equipment, and strong interagency partnerships. On behalf of the Fulton Fire Department, I extend sincere appreciation to everyone involved for their professionalism, dedication, and commitment to protecting our community. Now those dispatchers and firefighters, EMS, if you all would come forward, and the Officer Crowder and Sergeant Magadans. I will give you roll here. Right. Thank you, Deputy Mayor and Council, for your continued support of public safety and the men and women who serve our community every day. These two incidents highlight the value of continued investment in public safety training, emergency communications, and community education, including CPR and AED accessibility. Because of those investments and the people behind them, 2 lives were saved. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Singh. And I just want to state that these people are, I'd like to state that these people are bona fide heroes, and the city of Fulton really appreciates them all.
To take that even further, I mean, the departments, obviously Fulton Fire, Fulton Police Department, I'm incredibly proud of you guys every single day and the work that you do. We don't take it lightly that you see and deal with things that the average person could not handle very well. But I also want to highlight, obviously, our county partners and our community partners, because there were individuals here that were not public safety officials that also stepped in a time of need. And so I think this just shows that it takes all of us working together in those dire moments to make sure that we keep everybody alive and safe. So thank you guys as well for being here, and congratulations to everybody. Really remarkable.
Okay, we will now move on to the consent agenda, which includes the approval of the city council meeting minutes from December 16th, 2025.
Move for approval.
We have an approval and a motion for approval and a second. Is there any conversation? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. The motion passed. We do not have any unfinished business tonight, Mr. Agenda, so we'll move on to new business. Well, and we do not have any new business tonight. So next we'll have council concerns. We'll start with Councilman Combs.
Yes, Deputy Mayor, the Planning and Zoning Commission has not met since our last meeting. We do have a meeting later on this month to discuss 2 different properties. In terms of concerns, I don't think I have any additional tonight.
Thank you, Councilman Combs. Councilman Washington?
Yes, thought I heard myself. I want to thank the staff member of the city of Fulton and Courtney for the wonderful Christmas cards, and I appreciate the thought, and it was pretty nice. No concerns at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Washington. Councilwoman Nelson?
Yes, thank you. The Public Utility Board has not had a meeting. I know last time whenever we had council, we had mentioned the recycling. I do want to readdress that again. The city is trying to do everything that we can to help with the cost of that. We understand that the increase has burdened some people that really want to recycle. And so I do have an update here that there are going to be containers that are located at the police department. Is that correct?
We're working through some of those details, and we're going to provide an update probably on social media and through our text and email. But yes, we do still have the recycling container at Fulton Police Department that was out around the holidays.
Excellent, excellent. Yep. And, you know, we just want to recognize too for everybody again that we're trying to negate those costs so it's affordable for everybody. You know, recycling is one of those things that people want to do, and we want to improve our communities, and that is something I know that people really enjoy. And so we are trying to look into all of the options to try to make that an affordable option for everybody. I don't have any other concerns.
If we can back up, I want to mention that the park board will be having a meeting on the 17th, and I believe it's this Thursday. Is that still on? It's the 20th. Okay, I stand to be corrected. Thank you, on the 20th. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Councilwoman Nelson and Councilman Washington. Okay, I have, as a councilman, I have no concerns, but I would like to thank the city for the beautiful work that they did on the lights throughout the town. It was beautiful. The park was beautiful. It seems to get better every year, and we really appreciate that. And there was not a Public Safety Commission meeting since the last meeting, and next person will be Councilman West.
If I can get the microphone to come on, sure. Okay, the Human Rights Commission has not met. I was unable to make the Celia event on the 21st of December, but I understand it went off very nicely. I had family at the house, so I couldn't get away. I am still concerned with recycling. I think it's something we need to continue to talk about and explore our options. Hopefully the market will improve on that as well. And I also want to say how proud I am as a citizen of the city, of our firefighters, our police, our ambulance, and just our citizens in general that work to do these life-saving, and I'm sure there's a lot of them that go unrecognized that we don't even know about. So they put their life on the line frequently, maybe not daily, but I'm sure it's very, very frequently. So I really appreciate that. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman West. Councilwoman Reclus?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have no concerns at this time, but the Public Safety Commission has not had a meeting in the last month. We'll have one scheduled in a couple of weeks, and I have no other concerns at this time.
Thank you, Councilwoman Reclus. Councilwoman Hanson?
Yes, thank you. I also, well, let's see, let's start with the Historic Preservation Commission. They did meet earlier this week and are working on an education event for homes that are in historic districts throughout town, and so there will be more information coming on about that, and next month the commission is planning to come and talk with council a little bit more. And then also I think that tonight the display of recognition was wonderful. I love to see when our city and county work together and care about each other, which is just great to see. There is also a, between city and county, we have a housing development task force that is meeting this week, and if anyone is interested in serving on that task force or wants to know more information, I would love to tell you more about that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Hanson. Councilman Luther?
Yes, as far as concerns, no specific concerns for tonight. I would like to reiterate what Chief Singh said about the importance of training as well as having the right equipment, right? We all understand we gotta live within our fiscal means, especially doing our due diligence as a council. But I ask that this council, future councils, with or without us present, make sure we have those tough, challenging discussions on the importance of the new fire truck, the AED equipment, because again, at the end of the day, one life saved would be worth the amount of money spent on one fire truck or one AED. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Luther. Okay, we'll now move on to resolutions. Councilman Nelson, please present Resolution 3599.
Yes, Deputy Mayor. Resolution 3599, MOU with City of Fulton Fire Department, IAFF Local 2945, a resolution authorizing the mayor on behalf of the City of Fulton, Missouri, to execute a memorandum of understanding with Fulton Professional Firefighters, Local 2945, regarding shift scheduling and overtime procedures, and establishing an effective date. I make a motion we pass Resolution 3599 at tonight's council meeting.
We have a motion by Councilman Nelson and a second by Councilman West. Is there any conversation on this? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Councilman Washington, please present Resolution 3600.
Thank you. Resolution 3600, agricultural land lease agreement with the Reagan's Farm. A resolution authorizing the mayor on the behalf of the city of Fulton, Missouri to enter into a lease agreement with the Reagan Farm of the Freesburg, Missouri for the lease of approximately 164 plus acres of agricultural land located at the Elton Hensley Memorial Airport for a cost of $193.56 per acre and establish an effective date. I make a motion that we pass Resolution 3600 on tonight's council meeting.
Second?
We have a motion by Councilman Washington and a second by Councilman Reclus. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Okay, Councilman West, please present resolution number 3601.
All right. Agricultural land lease agreement with Rehagen Farms. A resolution authorizing the mayor on behalf of the city of Fulton, Missouri to enter into a lease agreement with Rehagen Farms of Freeburg, Missouri for the lease of approximately 105 plus or minus acres of agricultural land located on the property formerly known as a Yathel Farm for a cost of $193.56 per acre. I move for passage of resolution number 3601 at tonight's council meeting.
We have a motion from Councilman West for resolution 3601 and a second by Councilwoman Nelson. Any discussion on this? Hearing none. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. We'll now move on to the reading of the ordinance. Councilwoman Reclus, please present bill number 1773 for the first reading.
Yes, I asked to read this ordinance tonight. It's something that's important to me, and I had an incident happen this last year where a young man that was heading the right direction, he was in the wrong spot in the middle of the night and was deceased. So this ordinance is the offense of minors after midnight, okay? And I'd like to read this ordinance. It's something that I think we need to keep our eye on a little bit more here in our city. Okay, bill number 1773, code amend, offense concerning minors, an ordinance amending chapter 78 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Fulton, Missouri by adding article 7, offense concerning minors to promote public safety, prevent juvenile crime, provide for enforcement and penalties, and establish an effective date. I make a motion that bill number 1773 be for second reading at our next council meeting.
Councilwoman Reclus moved to approve bill 1773, and Councilwoman Nelson seconded it. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Deputy Mayor. How did we arrive at midnight?
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand that maybe on Friday and Saturday night, but the rest of the week, I would think that's a little bit late. But that's Mike's personal opinion. Just wondering how we arrived at the time we arrived.
Chief, would you mind coming up and explaining a little bit more into this?
That's a good question, Mike. Thank you.
Chief Ladley. 17-year-olds used to be considered adults until the law changed a couple of years ago. They are now minors. Some of those people, some of those kids do have jobs or may be out doing things for their parents or going to the movies, things like that.
Right.
We have those projected, yeah.
Right.
Nothing good usually happens after midnight if you're an unsupervised juvenile in town.
That's
And this
true.
isn't designed to punish anybody, but to maybe make parents more aware of where their children are, because we have instances of vandalism, theft, car theft, they're being committed by juveniles, but the parents have no idea where they are. And this will, I think, help ensure that maybe on the first offense, if we've never dealt with a juvenile before, a little education for them and their parents.
Yeah.
But if it's the second and third and fourth, because we do run into sometimes the same kids multiple times that are out at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, there's usually not anything good going on at that time.
No. We were all young once, I think.
We were long ago. But parents need to have a little more understanding of where their children are, especially when they're 14, 15, 16, and out doing things they shouldn't be doing. Right.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Chief,
We modeled this after another, town, didn't we? Another
I believe Torrey, Missouri,
Troy, yeah.
I believe.
I don't know.
Yeah, there are a lot of municipalities within the state that do have even stricter guidelines with this.
Yeah, because this is,
Okay. My only other question is, how are we gonna educate the public about this? Do we have a communication plan?
Social media, city website. I've already talked with the juvenile office for some of their clients and their parents. It's a great way to get to those that probably need to know the most.
Okay, thank you.
I would also say that our communications coordinator is going to be working very closely with Chief and the Fulton Police Department and our school district as well to make sure that we get that message out effectively ahead of this going into effect.
Great, thank you.
And
Yes.
I think the other thing to remember too is we're not totally locking down kids where they cannot be out at all at night. But they have to have, their parents have to be, or a guardian has to be knowledgeable and cognizant of what they're doing, where they're doing it, and why they're doing it.
Correct. And Mr. Washington?
yes, I was just concerned. I believe that if you're under a certain age when you're driving, and I think some of the sporting events might be releasing a little late due to ball games, and some of our 17-year-olds are driving, and they may get home after 12. If you are, to my understanding, if you're coming from that type of event or something, or job,
Not
you
a
should,
problem at all.
there's no problem, is that?
Exactly.
Okay.
No problem at all.
Just gotta justify why
Using
you're
common
out.
sense.
Yes, that's what I said. Thank you.
yeah, there's a couple more things I'd like to read that we had, that was supplied for us. Yeah, exactly, like Mr. Washington was saying. If they're on an errand for say there's an emergency and they're on an errand for their parent or something like that, that's different. If there's something that closes a church facility, something going on at church, something going on at whatever, that, no problem with that type of thing.
No problem.
That's all,
At
okay.
all.
Yeah, okay. It's just if they're on the street, not doing the right thing.
Correct.
Thank you.
I've heard Mr. Chief, any kids out here about 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, something's wrong.
I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna enlist council members to just, have a little station around town. We'll see if we can enlist you guys in some assistance in rounding people up, if that's what we have to do. No, but again, I think as Chief mentioned, it's gonna be all about common sense. We wanna make sure, again, public safety is at the forefront, while balancing that with common sense and duties that we totally understand. There's a lot of young people who are 16, 17, 18, 16, 17, who are doing a lot of things for their family. So the goal of this is not to lock anybody down, but just to make sure that we maintain public safety for everybody.
Okay.
Do you have something, Mr. Combs?
Yeah, you can go. Go ahead. Wait.
Go ahead.
I just got a couple questions. One, it was my assumption, kind of like he was saying already, that under 18, you already can't be out between
Yes.
midnight and 6 while driving. Is that correct still?
There's graduated driver's licenses.
Okay.
That they shouldn't be, nor
Yeah.
should a person with an intermediate license have 4 or 5 other people in the car with them.
Right.
I think they allow 1 passenger.
Yeah.
You don't want a whole carload at 2 in the morning going too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My second piece was, this kind of seems to echo a little bit of what the schools are talking about with attendance, they're telling parents that kids need to be in school, but kids still aren't showing up to school. And so I've got a little bit of a concern there, like, we're dealing with the same problem really, right? Accountability, parents are already somewhat responsible for the actions of their kids, like if they are damaging things. Are we having a hard time like prosecuting kids or addressing those sorts of situations where, like, if a kid does damage somebody's car, that we can't go through the whole court system to actually make them?
Minors are adjudicated through the juvenile
Yeah.
office. Once we send that report to them,
It's on, so,
we're out of it,
Yeah.
and the juvenile office takes care of that. But sometimes you see the same individuals
sure,
that you're dealing with that, for whatever reason, the parents don't understand that they shouldn't be out at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
when they're 14 or 15.
yeah. And I mean, I witness this almost every day right now. But knowing, like, it's the same kids that aren't going to school, whose parents aren't home to make sure they're not there. And it's a bigger issue, I think, in town than we realize. And I don't know if enforcing this or even having it is really going to change the ability for those parents to actually do something. Because in the instance, Mary, you brought up earlier, like, those kids were driving, so they were already having issues there. There was other illegal things going on, and so is this actually going to solve that problem? And my only concern, because I want to support you guys in what you're doing 100%, is like, you do stuff like this, it doesn't go away. Like, you never go back and amend and say, no, we don't need a curfew anymore. It's like, no, you just assume it's there. And so trying to decide if we need it.
There's always been a curfew, but it's basically a status offense that would be handled through the juvenile office. What this ordinance actually does is, through municipal court, the adult parent is the one who would get the ticket.
Okay, that's what, yeah.
And that, I think, will maybe help them with accountability if they have a little something in the game, shall we say.
Yeah.
In addition, it allows our law enforcement officers to make arrests accordingly.
Yeah, this isn't, if it's a kid we've never had contact with before, and the parents, you can tell they snuck out. I mean, it's not going to be used to punish parents in situations like that. It's kids that are constantly being seen out at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and there's a crying call. That's the tool that it's really.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Again, just kind of echo to what Councilman Combs said. I mean, just with the things that are already on the books, rules that already apply, I guess it just still hesitant on, is this we're trying to hold, we say we're trying to hold the parents accountable, but we're trying to hold them accountable or tell them how to parent. Another example, I don't want to be told as a parent what to feed, what I can and can't feed my kids. I want to be a parent. We've all learned the hard way sometimes, but just not sure if this is the right action for a municipality to take for kids that they're out, it shouldn't be, besides maybe some of the laws that are already on the books. So.
All right.
It's a tough one.
We'll go on to the vote now. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, please signify by saying nay. That was, how many nays? Just you? Both of you, okay. All right, thank you. So the ordinance passes on to the next meeting. Councilman Luther, please present bill number 1774.
Yes, bill number 1774, code amend, open burning, recreational fires and burn permits, an ordinance amending chapter 50 of Code of Ordinances of the City of Fulton, Missouri by adding Article 6, open burning recreational fires and burn permits, or is that Article 4?
Article 4.
Sorry. Out of practice on my Roman numerals, thank you. Recreational fires and burn permits to establish clear standards for outdoor fires, promote public safety, and establishing an effective date. At this time, I'll make a motion to place bill number 1774 for second reading in the next regular scheduled council meeting, but I'm open for discussion on this one as well.
Chief Singh, could you go ahead and come up as well? I'm certain we'll have some questions.
Thank you, Councilman Luther, for the motion, and thank you, Councilwoman Nelson, for the second.
Is there any questions?
You've been up here a lot already tonight, so we just wanted to bring you back up for more, but can you give us a little bit of insight into kind of this ordinance and what brought you to bringing it forward? I know there's been a lot of confusion over burn permits, when they're required, what the regulations are, and this also does tie over into some building code requirements as well.
That's
Take it away.
So what this does is it clears it up to where the citizens can understand, have a clearer way of knowing what is prohibited and what they can burn. The distance prior, or the current one, it's 50 feet. Well, there's a lot of residents in town that can't, technically, according to the way it is currently, they can't even do a recreational fire to do marshmallows because they don't have 50-foot clearance in their yard. So this shortens that clearance up, but it makes it more clear for not just the citizens, but for the fire personnel that have been, you know, oh, it's this way, and different interpretations prior to where this will make it a lot easier for everybody.
Thank you. We used to call the fire department to have them to come and look at our site. Do we still require, is it still required for us to come to City Hall and get a burn permit?
So we,
Yeah.
the way it happens now, and the way it's supposed to happen, is that you'll call the fire department. The fire department will come and look at the area and make sure they're not burning tree
Paper,
lumber,
yeah. You're right.
leaves, stuff like that. It has to be limbs.
Yes, right, okay. So we just go, okay, thank you.
To clarify a little bit further too, you actually issue the burn permit as the fire department. So yeah, they're gonna come take a look and determine safety requirements and what is being burned before issuing a permit or issuing a denial, if that's necessary. They also take into consideration weather conditions, air conditions, all those things as well.
Yes, and we have had instances where people are burning. We get called for a structure fire because somebody drives by and they didn't have a burn permit or whatever, and then we're calling everybody in, and you know, it was just a brush pile behind the house that wasn't approved. So this kind of gives us a little more help when that type of thing happens.
I do have a question. I asked prior to the meeting, but I think I still need some clarification here. So, section 50-85, permits for other burning. Written permit from the fire department is required for any burning not allowed in section 50-84. 50-84 talks about recreational fires and portable outdoor fireplaces are allowed. So basically recreational burning. Does not reference 50-83. 50-83 says open burning of yard waste, leaves, brush, trash is prohibited within the city limits. I asked a question, so if I have enough land and I cut down full-size trees, can I burn those in the city limits? But the way this reads, I can't.
Without a burn permit. So that would be where we would come and have to look at it, if I remember it correctly. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how it should be, but this reads 50-84, but 50-83 says no burning, period.
Not having it in front of me, I can definitely look into it and make sure we can.
I just want to make sure that's, if you can indeed burn trees with the proper permit, I just want to make sure this, I'm not reading it incorrectly, I guess. Because I have personally, I have like 8 full-size trees to drop that I do not want to haul off, so.
So sorry, what numbers were you?
So if you look at, I'm on section 50-85, says written permit for anything not allowed in 50-84. So that references only 50-84, which is recreational burning, but it doesn't reference 50-83, which says basically no burning of trees. So it's, I don't know, I want to make sure it's as clear that you can still burn a brush pile if you have the proper permits. And
let me do some looking into this and I can get back with you on that and just make sure that it's worded exactly how we need
I
it.
appreciate it. Just want to make sure that's
For
clear.
clarification, and we don't necessarily need an amendment tonight, we can certainly get one, but is the council's desire to allow brush burning or tree burning, if you will, if you have the proper clearance and a burn permit is obtained? I'm assuming that's everyone's desire here. Okay, well then, yes, Chief, we'll take a look at that. We'll make sure the language is updated, and certainly if there's an amendment, we'll make sure you guys are aware of that before you do a secondary vote at the next meeting.
Awesome.
We can
Thank
take
you.
care of that.
Sorry to catch you off guard, Chief.
I got a couple of questions real quick too, just, and maybe somebody else wants to clarify. So you said we moved it from 50 feet to 25 feet. Just thinking back in the last year, when I walk Southwind, there have been people having a fire pit in their driveway that's like 10 feet from their house. According to this, they could get in trouble. If the house is set back 30 feet, that means they're on the sidewalk before they can use their fire pit.
Well, the backyard is where we would obviously approve it. If it's
Sure.
within that, we would not approve that because
A fire pit though? Like they don't have to have approval for a fire pit.
the pit should be approved by the fire department.
Okay. So then even if a backyard, if they have a tree or anything like that, technically this would say no, as long as you have to be 25 feet away from your house and 25 feet away from a tree, correct?
Yes, but
So
it
that-
also has some, I guess, leeway as
Sure.
to, the fire department gets there and they verify that you have a water source available.
Sure.
That it is safe, then,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm just going by basically what it reads, and if we add that in, then I would be fine, but I'm thinking most of the older homes have trees. If they have a tree, or I have a playhouse and my house, my whole yard's gone if I try to get 25 feet away from those. And then the other piece, which kind of ties to that too, is I know I've got some friends out in Tanglewood who like to have fires in their backyard till midnight. This also stops them at 10 o'clock. I don't know that we want to stop people from having fires till midnight on a weekend if they want to have, you know, their family around or their kids around or whatever.
so part of that is due to, you know, one, like I said, people calling in.
Sure.
And late at night, after 10 o'clock, people see a fire in the backyard, they're calling 911 saying there's a building on fire, a car on fire.
Sure.
And then that's
Yeah, it's a
dumping
lot.
resources again. So by having that time, you know, then we know, okay, this really
Sure.
probably something. And then it's just kind of getting that time.
Yeah.
One thought with that is, of course, I know we're gonna look at some minor word changes, but maybe even unattended after 10.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't see one sitting around a fire, then I would be cautious myself, but you see obviously a couple people hanging around having a cold beverage. Hopefully that wouldn't be a concern. On the weekend. During the work week, well, okay.
Yeah.
Just an idea.
Yes, we could make that amendment. You guys could make that amendment tonight, or we could do it as a complete amendment once Chief Singh has the ability to work with Kathy on this other language as well. I think that would probably be a little bit more appropriate, so we could just make all the changes at one time, bring them back to you guys.
I'd like to ask all of you who have these good suggestions to email them to Courtney so that she can get these put together.
Do that. Don't do that. I've got some great notes, but of course, if there's any other thoughts that pop up between now and I would say the end of the week, just let us know. And again, Kathy, Chief Singh, and myself will take a look at that.
Okay, all in favor of moving this on, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. The bill will be moved on. Councilman Combs, please present bill number 1775.
Yes, Deputy Mayor. Bill number 1775, Code Amend Commercial Food Service Activities and Establishments. An ordinance repealing and reenacting Article 1 of Chapter 58 of the Code of the City of Fulton, Missouri, updating regulations governing food establishments and sanitation, amending Chapter 120 by enacting new regulations regarding commercial food service activities and establishing an effective date. I make a motion to place bill number 1775 for moving to the next meeting.
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Combs, for the motion, and thank you, Councilman Luther, for the second. Do we have any discussion?
I do want to give a little bit of insight. Kathy obviously is not here tonight, but she put a great deal of work into this. So currently, city zoning requirements do not allow for residential food areas, but there is a little bit of a disparity. So as you all know, the city does not do our own health inspections. We rely on the county health department to manage that. So there have been, again, some issues where perhaps a home food preparer receives a county health or a health department permit, but it doesn't conform with city code, whether that's zoning or some of the other safety and business license requirements that we have as well. So this is just to clarify that language. It is not to take away the opportunity for fundraisers or student council preparing food out at a football game in a tent, but just to, again, bring everything together into one clear code that indicates that commercial food services need to be conducted in a commercial location with the proper safety and health regulations enforced as well, and it also ties in those zoning requirements. Certainly, any questions? I'm happy to answer them.
I have a question. So people, and you mentioned fundraisers, you know, people might have a bake sale or something of that nature, that they're cooking cupcakes, baking cupcakes or cake or something in their home oven and then taking it to church or wherever it's selling it, or...
I do want to clarify, baked goods are covered by the Missouri State Cottage Law, so that this does not apply to that. This would be warm food, anything that's not a baked item. You're cooking ribs and you want to sell them to somebody, or again, anything that's not a baked good specifically.
Okay, thank you for that clarification, because I'm not familiar with that law, because I don't do that sort of thing. Thank you.
All in favor of moving this?
I got a question real quick, because I actually emailed Kathy and Courtney about this earlier today. I know Kathy, you said Kathy did a lot of work trying to clarify some of the other issues, because like you said, the county manages the health department side. We have our own ordinances side. And I know they're still responsible for enforcing those. Do we think adding this language is going to make it easier to enforce the other codes that we already have in place? Because like I know there's a lot, I shouldn't say a lot, there are other commercial practices happening in non-commercial areas. And just the things that she shared were like, we have codes for those already. Are we having a problem enforcing those without this?
We are having an issue enforcing those without this. So what this allows us to do is to look specifically at the location and make sure that it's zoned appropriately and it fits with all those other business license requirements. And again, just kind of brings all that together. So we do have issues from time to time with unregulated food stations that again maybe do meet the requirements from the health department standard to receive a health permit, but they don't meet city code requirements. So this ordinance does help us enforce that more effectively through the city clerk's office and through the Fulton Police Department if necessary. But again, I think that this is a good use of pulling all that information together and giving it a little bit more teeth.
Courtney, how does that affect people who like, well, you know, a lot of funerals, a lot of people at the funerals, they have food after, and that, after the funeral services. How does that affect?
We're not gonna
that?
mess with that, Bob.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
I don't wanna get involved with that. No, so this is specifically about business. So if
Business,
someone
okay.
if someone were selling it, that would be when this would trigger. But if it's a private event and someone's catering or doing a family event, this does not apply.
This impacts food trucks.
Yeah. Yes, so food trucks are handled just, and actually, you know what, I should make our deputy clerk answer this question, but I'm not gonna put her through that. So food trucks are licensed just like any other food establishment or any other business. And so this doesn't directly impact them. This is simply just to make sure that we all understand we can't have those sales and business transactions, food specifically, in an area that is residential and is not regulated or does not conform with city regulations. So food trucks will still be licensed. They do have to be on private property. As of right now, food trucks cannot park on city streets or on public property unless the city council gives special permission for that. So again, the goal of this is not to inhibit anything with cottage law, food preparation, or food trucks, simply to just clarify the regulations that are in place and then make sure that we have the appropriate placement of these food establishments.
It's, one example, just a question here. So if I rent the park down the street and I have a big old barbecue grill and I'm cooking up the greatest ribs you've ever seen, can I do that? Does that still fall under this Article 1, or is that something
Are you
separate?
selling them? If you're not selling them, then
This-
you're perfectly fine to be at the park and to be cooking food, that
Where's
you're
it?
enjoying yourself.
How do I know? Oh, I'm not selling them.
You're not selling it.
But I know 58-2 says prepared, cooked, or sold. So if I'm
Right.
cooking and preparing,
So,
I'm giving it away.
a
But
little different when you're talking about, if you're giving it away, then you're probably okay. And if you're receiving it, just be mindful. You're taking food from a park from a person you don't know, but you know, whatever floats your boat. That being said, you can absolutely do that. This, again, primarily deals with food establishments that are being run out of a tent in a residential area, which is a common issue that we're seeing, or more frequently seeing, I should say. So the goal of this ordinance and the clarification, and Kathy will definitely take a look at that language and make sure there's no confusion. The goal of this, though, is to handle those tent or non-conforming operations in a residential area where someone is selling the food versus giving it away.
That's right.
True.
But Courtney, a lot of churches, sometimes churches have dinners that they sell. Would that affect them too?
That would.
So typically, again, that's gonna come down to whatever the health department requirements are gonna be for food handling.
Okay.
But if a church does a fundraiser, first off, the likelihood of us knowing about that, we're not probably gonna know about that. But secondly, I would say that, you know, that's something we could look at providing
Nice to look
clarification.
at, yeah.
Okay.
The goal here is not to shut down church fundraisers or student council at a high school football game, simply to make sure that everyone, you know, the primary goal of this is to make sure that our businesses are all licensed equitably and that the food that is being sold is safe for the public to consume. So the way to do that would be to make sure that we have these clarifications in place.
Kind of, so an example, it's coming up pretty soon, fish fries at St. Peter's during Lent.
You know I'm not gonna mess with that either because I'm there.
I know.
I am too.
I am too.
We're all there.
They,
Give a table for it.
they get a temporary food permit for that.
Yeah.
So
County.
that's
The
how
county.
that
Yeah,
that sort of
that's
thing
right.
is covered.
I just
I
want to make
see.
sure
Yeah.
Yeah.
that language is clear, yeah.
I see.
We'll say, that according to this, though, even if they get a temporary food permit, you can't sell it out of a tent.
Out of a tent.
So you have to have it some sort of other contained. I've not ever been, so I don't know.
Outside the building, but yeah.
But I know a lot of fish fries happen outside the tent.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
They don't
Brad,
sell it out there, they may just cook it in there.
true.
but-
and Brad, don't give away any potato salad. Okay.
And Brad, when is this ribs barbecue? Make,
And we're invited.
No, not a- not a
I would
fish
point
fries
out
on
that it's for commercial, like this is for commercial use, so a fundraiser for a church would not be considered commercial use.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk, very good. And I swear, if you all just take that after I've had to talk so much, and now you're not gonna ask any more questions, no.
All right, I think that exhausts the discussions. So all in favor of moving this forward, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion passed. Okay. We'll now move on to second reading of ordinances. Councilman West, please present bill number 1771 for the second reading, and you'll also do the third reading too.
If I choose to? Yes.
Please.
Yes. Okay, bill number 1771, ordinance number blank. Code amendments, contracts and property documents, signature authority. An ordinance adding section 2-14 to the city code allowing the director of administration to sign contracts, deeds, and conveyances of interest in property when authorized to do so by the mayor. I make a motion to place bill number 1771 for third reading at this council meeting.
Second?
Thank you, Councilman West, for the motion, and Councilwoman Recluse for the second. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Okay, Councilman West, please present bill number 1771 for the third reading.
Okay, bill number 1771, ordinance number blank. Code amendment, contracts and property documents, signature authority. An ordinance adding section 2-14 to the city code allowing the director of administration to sign contracts, deeds, and conveyances of interest in property when authorized to do so by the mayor. I make a motion to place bill number 1771 for final passage at this council meeting.
Thank you, Councilman West and Councilwoman Nelson. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Madam Clerk, will you please call roll on that?
Yes. Miss Hanson.
Yes.
Mr. Henchy.
Yes.
Mr. Luther. Yes. Miss Nelson.
Yes.
Miss Recluse.
Yes.
Mr. Washington. Mr. West.
Yes.
Mr. Combs.
Yes.
8 affirmative.
Okay, the bill passes. And Councilman Hanson, will you please present bill number 1772 for second reading and the third reading?
Yes. Bill number 1772, enact Article 5 of Chapter 98, Snow and Ice Control. An ordinance amending Chapter 98 of the Code of the City of Fulton, Missouri by repealing sections 98 through 96 through 98. Let me try that again. By repealing sections 98-96 through 98-98 and enacting a new Article 5, Snow and Ice Control, in lieu thereof, and establishing an effective date. I would like to make a motion to put this up for the third reading at tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Councilwoman Hanson and Councilman West. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Councilwoman, please present bill number 1772 for the third reading.
Bill number 1772, enact Article 5 of Chapter 98, Snow and Ice Control. An ordinance amending Chapter 98 of the Code of the City of Fulton, Missouri by repealing sections 98-96 through 98-98 and enacting a new Article 5, Snow and Ice Control, in lieu thereof, and establishing an effective date. I make a motion that we pass bill number 1772 at tonight's meeting.
Second?
Thank you, Councilman Hanson and Councilman Recluse. All in favor, please any discussion? All in favor, please signifying by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The bill 1772 has been read 3 times. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Henchy.
Yes.
Mr. Luther. Yes. Miss Nelson.
Yes.
Miss Recluse.
Yes.
Mr. Washington. Yes. Mr. West.
Yes.
Mr. Combs. Yes. Miss Hanson.
Yes.
8 affirmative.
Okay, bill number 1772 passes. Now we'll move on to the announcement. The next city council meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, January 27th at 2026 at 6:30 p.m. City of Fulton, Legion's Recplex, and Solid Waste Department will be closed January 19th in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Emergency services will be in normal operations. We'll have a need to do an executive session under Missouri State Statute 610-021 for item 1 and item 9, regulated to legal matters and labor negotiations. I'll entertain a motion to move to the executive session. Thank you, Councilwoman Nelson. Okay, and Councilman West. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. We will move to executive session.
Quickly, we do need to go ahead and do a roll call vote before we go
Oh,
to
yeah.
executive
Please,
session.
Madam Clerk, please do a roll call on that.
Yes. Mr. Luther? Yes. Ms. Nelson? Yes. Ms. Reclue? Yes. Mr. Washington? Yes. Mr. West?
Yes.